Bucket for bucket, let's go shot for shot. Bucket.
What is up? What is up? What is up? Welcome to NYLFTV for now, presented by Bucket for Bucket Podcast. And when I say for now, just wanted to let y'all know ahead of time so you're not surprised. We are in the process of a rebrand. Still will be connecting you and still talking about New York Liberty basketball. We will still be presented by the Bucket for Bucket Podcast Network, but we just rebranding a little bit, a little differentiation, just so there is nothing misconstrued by anyone. I just want to shout everybody who's been on the platform thus far. Thank you for your patience and everything. But this ain't about me, y'all. This ain't about me. NYLFTV, today's episode is being shot on Cloud 9, okay? It's being shot on Cloud 9 because in case you haven't heard, in case you live under a rock, yesterday was one of the it was one of those days in the women's basketball scene. Not just basketball, but the women's basketball scene. And I'm not just talking to W. It was crazy on Unrivaled. It was crazy in college basketball selection Sunday just to see everything transpire. Was huge, dope. And then in that middle of around 8 p.m. yesterday, I don't remember the time exactly, but we got news that former WNBA champion, 2019 WNBA champion, a former Phoenix Mercury, briefly with the Connecticut Sun, most notably with the Washington Mystics, Natasha Cloud, has been traded to our hometown New York Liberty. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. New York Liberty fans, I know you guys are excited. I'm super excited for you. I'm super excited myself. I'm super excited for you as fans of the game and as fans of New York. This was huge. This was huge. We've been calling for Natasha Cloud's name since the 2023 WNBA Finals. As soon as that game was over, and we were talking about perimeter defense, we were talking about what we're gonna get. As soon as it was over, all the fans took to Twitter, they took to X, they took to IG, whatever platform they was on, to say how much the New York Liberty needed Natasha Cloud. And fast forward 2025, I know we're a little behind schedule, a little overdue, but this is perfect timing. The perfect timing to get this veteran over to this roster, especially after the offseason the offseason loss of Salute and KT. And this rebuilding is super dope. This is super dope. So as I said, this news came last night during the Unrivaled playoff game. And as many fans are excited, Natasha Cloud is excited as well because, after a season that she's had, after the season that she had in Phoenix and the promises that were made to her in Phoenix, for her to end up in the Connecticut Sun, after everything that transpired this past season, in her career and this past season, just knowing what you're going to get from this professional and veteran, there's certain courtesies that should be extended to somebody like a Natasha Cloud. And I think she'll get that over here because I think she's going to be working with a GM who's a player's first GM. So again, I have to shout out Jonathan Kolb for the work he's done. It's been a masterful job since he's taken over this team in 2019, in March of 2019. And I could kind of I'll speak about everything that kind of led up to this, has been leading, because this has been in the works. This is the long game that's been being played. The long game was played here. And about Natasha Cloud, as I said, she's 33 years old, a little in the older years, definitely a veteran, but still younger than me. So she still has a lot of basketball left in her tank. She played 8 seasons for the Washington Mystics. She played 1 for the Phoenix Mercury, and as I said, almost played for the Connecticut Sun. She is a 2019 WNBA champion. She's a Pennsylvania native. I just came back from the Pennsylvania, by the way. She's right there. I just came back from the Poconos, had me a good weekend, a good trip, and coming back home to this news was amazing. So my bad. Again, enough about me. We're T Cloud, all right. Career averages of 9 points, 8.6 points, just a little under 9 points, 5.3 assists per game, 3.2 rebounds, and 1 steal. She's played 286 regular season games. Of those 286 games, she started 242 of those games. She's a starter in this league, absolutely a starter in this league. She's been in the playoffs 7 times. So she's been in the league for 9 years. And 7 of those 9 years, she spent her time in the playoffs. So we know what we're getting. We know we're getting experience. I told you she's a 2019 WNBA champion. And 2019 Dawn Staley Leadership Award. 2022, she led the league in assists. And then we have in 2022, she was an all defensive first team. And then most recently, she has all defensive second team in 2024. She actually has 2 defensive second teams, 2019, that year that they won, and 2024 last year, which was, a phenomenal season. And she put up some big numbers in the playoffs. I know they didn't advance, but she was huge in those playoffs. So huge that she was told that she would retire a Phoenix Mercury. And we thank you guys. We thank you, Phoenix, for those lies, those fibs, and not being 100%, because here we are, Liberty fans. We got Natasha Cloud, landed exactly what we needed. But I have to tell you guys, we got to bring it back a little bit, because this didn't just start, okay? This didn't just start this year. This didn't just start in 2023 with Liberty fans wanting Natasha Cloud. Maybe the Liberty fans a little bit. But in 2019, Natasha Cloud actually accepted an offer sheet from the New York Liberty. Also, I want to tell you that year, after accepting that offer sheet, Washington knew what they had to do. They knew what kind of piece they had, and they wasted no time. They wasted no time in sending, in matching that offer sheet. So it wasn't right away. It wasn't right away that Natasha Cloud became, a New York Liberty, obviously. But yeah, that offer sheet. Her not signing because the Mystics matched that offer sheet, we would obviously have to wait some more time. And now we fast forward to the 2023 playoffs. The 2023 playoffs, that first round, what was it? Actually, that last game of the season against Washington, and then going into the playoffs, having to face Washington, and the effort, what we saw from Natasha Cloud. Natasha Cloud told us during that series, she's like, yo, it's going to be hard for Sabrina to get shots up on me. She came there, she came talking, and she came and she backed it up, especially those that closeout game. I don't remember her numbers exactly, but Natasha Cloud left that Barclays Arena to a standing ovation. She left to a standing ovation. Liberty fans were cheering her name, clapping it up for Natasha Cloud and what she did. Like, it was a battle-tested series between a top seeds. I'm talking about top seeds, a number 2 and a number 7 seed going at it. And the way that they performed was huge. It was huge, absolutely big. And again, she deserved every moment of that standing ovation. Now, within that series, I don't know if you guys remember, there were some, it was a testy series, but we did have a fan on our side, on the New York Liberty side, who had a testy sign. He had a sign that we was not feeling. And I tell you, I personally wasn't feeling, because I addressed this sign the next day. So here's the thing, before I even get into this, because I know a lot of people, I made a post last season where post-practice I asked Brianna Stewart and I asked Sabrina Ionescu about fans, about players, kind of being that voice and speaking out against fans who kind of just utter pure nonsense. I'm paraphrasing, but speaking out. Should players speak out more on that? And the post went viral for many different reasons. A lot of people were, probably thought I was trying to ask about Caitlin Clark or something like that, especially with how we know Caitlin Clark fans have been from the beginning to now, how these fans have been. But I actually put that in the air because I wasn't just speaking about Caitlin Clark fans. I was speaking about fans who kind of turned the game into something else that it's not supposed to be. So I was speaking about Caitlin Clark fans. I was speaking about Angel Reese fans. And I was also speaking about our New York Liberty fans, because if you go on X, you might see a couple bad apples or two saying some outlandish, crazy stuff, keyboard warriors and all of that nonsense. But it's like, this fan base is different. This fan base is different from that, and we kind of hold ourselves to a higher regard. So when we saw that Liberty fan who put up the sign about, Brittany Sykes and Natasha Cloud and the team and Shakira Austin and call them thugs, to my dismay, like I was shocked. I was shocked. And it caused me to kind of go back and do the research and have, you guys see the visuals of these players who are not thugs doing the best at that they can in their community and doing whatever they can with their platform. These are positive people. These are solid people, solid players, and they're human. So automatically when I saw that sign, I addressed that sign. I don't know if you want to go back as fans. I addressed that sign. That fan did not show up to the next game or two, the next playoff game or two, but they did come back. I also had a conversation with that fan. With that fan. And as I say, we're on content creation all day. We're doing a bunch of things. Not everything needs to be on camera. Not everything needs to be online. It doesn't we don't got to do all of that. But just know that fan took accountability. That fan is sorry. That fan was sorry, took accountability. Now, fast forward to the championship parade. I bump into that fan again. And all is good. All is well. We won. Everybody's happy. It's human. Like we're humans. We're together. We're celebrating. And that was water under the bridge. I'm saying this all to say that is water under the bridge. We know what we're going to get, from our fans, but also at the same time, we want to make sure that this is a safe place to play, and there's a level of respect for all players that step foot into Barclays Center, whether or not if they are playing in Seafoam or even if they are opponents. There should always be a level of respect, because these players are not your racehorses. These players are human beings. They're not just basketball players. They are human beings who have family members who are supporting them and watching them as well. So we are always going to remain diligent in the things that we speak and the things that we say, especially as Liberty fans. Do not go online and say some outlandish stuff because you feel it's going to give you extra clicks, giggles, or whatever the hell it is. This don't mean nothing. This is nothing. And again, it's about who you are within. And again, I'm not trying to get long-winded because we're speaking about Natasha Cloud, but that fan who put up that sign is not a reflection of all New York Liberty fans. Any fans online that you see saying any outlandish stuff about this team or any other WNBA players, those are not reflections of the WNBA or New York Liberty fans. Those are reflections of cowardly people who hide behind keyboards, hide behind screens, or have things in their life that are not going correct. And, misery does love company. They go online, and this is their way of steaming. But we're past that. We're completely past that. So in terms of, because I see Natasha Cloud responding to people online, and I don't want us to get caught up in the negatives. I'd rather us stay in the positive. And keep nurturing the people who are, putting the water in your garden, all right? That's what I'll say to that. So it's amazing to see that this team is kind of putting everything together and doing what they have to do, not only on the court, but off the court as well. The fans are doing what they have to do. The community's growing and growing. It's growing. It's absolutely growing. And, I love every part of it. I love every part of this, but I just want to let Natasha Cloud, Isabel Harrison, all these new signees, and everybody to know that any nonsense that you may see online is not a reflection of the true WNBA fans and the true New Yorkers. All right. So I say that to say that. And, you know, we had a conversation with that fan who had the sign. And again, I'll have a conversation again with him this year to double back and, you know, take that accountability just so that we could put this all past us and just go on and move on, and you know, everybody could just be happy, as we all are and will continue to be as we come on this quest to defend our championship. So again, I want to shout out Jonathan Kolb for making this move. This was absolutely the move that needs to be made for the New York Liberty, especially again after losing a Courtney Vandersloot and a Kayla Thornton. So this trade also it completes a chain of transactions. So again, I want to go back to that 2023 season, the 2023 season where the New York Liberty actually, it was a four-team trade, and in that trade, that's where we got the rights to Leonie Fibish. We got the rights to Leonie Fibish from the Los Angeles Sparks. And also, it was that pick swap that the New York Liberty received from the Phoenix Mercury. Now, fast forward to this year, this pick swap turns out to be the number 7th overall pick. It could have been higher, actually, to tell you the truth, because the way that the Phoenix Mercury were starting this season, it could have been really bad, but they kind of got healthy. It just got better. They got healthy. Brittany Griner came back. Kalia Copper started to get into her own. Diana Taurasi, like it was, they got back to it, and they were able to work their way back into the playoffs and into that number 7 spot. But again, like I said, it could have been a whole different story for this pick. But again, like I said, so they do the amazing thing and they get that number 7 pick from the Phoenix Mercury. And obviously, all of the moves that are happening this offseason, everybody wants the most. Everybody wants to see what they're going to do with these moves. Setu Sabali on Unrivaled announces that she will not be wearing a Dallas Wings jersey. She's already played her last game for the Dallas Wings. And we understood that. We definitely understood that. But insert a bunch of us hungry Liberty fans of basketball, who automatically think that the Liberty should throw all their eggs in one basket and go after Satu Sabali after winning a championship, which is, again, this amazed me. We kind of did the same thing in 2020 in the season prior. So the New York Liberty go through the motion and everything like that, and then we kind of see everybody. We're looking at each other's plates, and we see, oh, this person's going that place, that person's going that place, and Nneka Ogwumike is still available. And we really, as fans, we salivate over these names, and we don't sit and think. And we're like, oh, let's get Nneka. Let's try to get this. Meanwhile, you have Breanna Stewart, Jonquel Jones, and all of these people. And there's not enough basketball. There's not enough basketball for you to make these moves, these moves legitimately. But then you have somebody who is qualified for these moves. You have somebody like Jonathan Kolb. You have Ohema, who's now the GM of Golden State. You have quality people who make quality decisions. And don't just jump the gun because the fans want you to jump the gun and do something outlandish because they see names. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful. This is why these people are in the positions that they are in to make the decisions that we have to, because some people would see a Sato in front of their face. Some people will see a Nneka in front of their face, and they'll blow it up. They'll try to trade a Benijah and a pick. They'll do this. They'll do that because of whatever type of, fantasies that we're living in and stuff like that. But this is a team sport. And having all of these names on one team it's not it. It's not always going to work out like that. So I commend and, applaud Jonathan Kolb in the front office for the patience that they've exuberated, the patience that they've shown throughout these last 2 seasons, not just from 2019 to now, but specifically these last 2 seasons, because we're in a space of not only having to deal with free agency, we're going to have to deal with expansion drafts as well. So you want to make sure you still have assets available for you to still be able to make moves in. the New York Liberty had assets available for them to make this move. The New York Liberty were champions this season. We were not even supposed to have a pick in this draft. Not even supposed to have a pick. And what did they get? They got a number 7 pick in this draft because of the moves that were made 2 years prior. 2 years prior that are now coming to light now. So it's moves like these. And when I said, like I said earlier, I can confirm Jonathan Kolb is not playing checkers. These are chess moves. We're playing the long game here. And ultimately, the swap that turned into the number 7 pick was just sent to the Sun along with a future first-round pick, 2026. Now, there's a lot of mixed signals. A lot of people are asking different things. A lot of people are saying different things. A lot of people are asking, hey, first-round picks? Oh, was that too steep? Was the price too steep? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm here to answer that for you. The price was not too steep at all. The price was not steep at all. And again, I'd argue, if it was me and I was in Connecticut's position, I was getting a player back too, to be honest with you. This is not too steep because the draft, the number 7th pick in the upcoming draft, okay, you tell me how many rookies, besides the New York Liberty, are helping a championship roster right now. Leone Fibic, a rookie who's been playing professionally overseas for years, came and helped the New York Liberty win. But I'm talking about on this side, who's coming from college, which college rookies are coming from college and making an immediate impact on a championship team? Not many. And if you have a top pick, if you have a draft pick, if you have a lottery pick, chances are your team really sucked last season, so that's why you're sitting in the top 3. You know, you're sitting in the top 3. So was the price too steep, the number 7th pick? I don't know who you guys want with that number 7 pick. And I don't see anybody in this current draft that is going to provide for you what Natasha Cloud is going to provide for you for the next couple of seasons. It's that simple. That's no shade to anybody. These players are going to grow. They're going to develop. But Natasha Cloud is here, and she's here right now. That's something you can't teach. Somebody with a chip on their shoulder, the way that Tosh has, that veteran experience, it's real deal. So this is a big move. This is a big move that the New York Liberty absolutely did not need to hold on to those picks. And they still have assets. They still can trade for picks. They still can do stuff like that. But right now, I don't think that's the focus. I think the focus is running a back-to-back, winning a back-to-back in New York City after winning its first title in franchise history. To follow up with a back-to-back, that would be huge. And you got to follow while the momentum's hot. We see teams in the offseason make their moves. A bunch of people are making splashes. But it's important to remember that all of these teams that are making moves are making teams so that they can keep up and catch up with the Liberty. When you saw the way that Golden State drafted, you can tell we're trying to keep up with the Liberty here. We know exactly that the tides and the times are changing. And Liberty basketball at the forefront of the innovations, the things that are happening within the WNBA. So, again, was the price too steep, sending away 2 first-round picks? Absolutely not. This is exactly something that needed to happen. It was reported weeks ago that the Liberty did offer that number 7 pick originally for Natasha Cloud, and it was rejected, rightfully so. It was rejected, but Jonathan, again, he came back with a better offer, and it's accepted now. I'm on record telling you guys, if I'm the Connecticut Sun, I'm going in and I'm, seeing what Natasha Cloud, Marina Mabrey, and Tina Charles can do for me because I like how that sounds on paper, especially with role players. But they clearly are in a different spot. They're clearly in a rebuilding stage. And with that rebuild, if the New York Liberty are sending you 2 first-rounders, why not go ahead and take it? I would have taken the first 2 first-rounders with Marquisha Davis. A first-rounder with a Marquisha Davis. But that's something. That's just me. And that's not me saying I would have traded her. I'm saying if I was in Connecticut's shoes, that's something I would have been looking for just to make this thing feasible or make this make sense. But Again, we not gonna say this price was steep at all, because I don't see how we can call this price steep. We don't know what we're getting from these future draft picks, but I have to speak about the off-season moves, because again, off-season moves and how Jonathan Kolb has been cooking up. And this is real deal. So March 2019, Jonathan Kolb becomes the GM of the New York Liberty. The New York Liberty try to get Natasha Cloud in restricted free agency. Washington matches that offer. Not even hours, days, minutes later, Washington matched that offer. Washington wins the 2019 championship. In 2021, I'm sorry. The New York Liberty get their first ever first round pick, and who do they use that first pick on? Sabrina Ionescu, aka Ionescu, the GOAT, the champ, the best, the biggest athlete in New York City right now. Sabrina currently on the Asia tour. The last time I seen an Asia tour was Kobe Bryant doing that. I think that was in like 2009. So this is super cool. Then he signs. Who did he sign? He signed what's her name? Benijah Laney Hamilton. I don't know if y'all remember that. That was like the start of everything. The start of having a dynamic player on your roster doing her thing, and brings in Benijah Laney. She was like the first big piece, to kind of start things off. I'm missing stuff obviously, because I'm just doing this off top. And then we go to 2023, the first GM to sign 3 All-Stars, former MVP, 2 former MVPs. Like they were all All-Stars the season prior, and he got Courtney Vandersloot, Brianna Stewart, and Jonquel Jones to all say yes to New York Liberty, not knowing what's going to happen, not knowing what to do, where to turn, or anything like that. He got these superstars without uncertainty to come and commit to New York City. That same season, that 2023 season, again, I'm missing stuff. Again, that 2023 season, they go on, they win a Commissioner's Cup. They make it to the WNBA Finals. Obviously, miss out on the WNBA Finals. But what happens that next offseason? Everybody's talking about perimeter defense. What can we do? Perimeter defense, they're weak. Everybody wants a big splash in the offseason, and our GM just kind of stands pat. And when I say stand pat, he doesn't go after those big names that everybody's going crazy over. He's like, nah, I'm going to, do what's right for this team. We got to work on perimeter defense. So don't forget, I got Leonie Fibish. Don't forget, I made some moves. Then I got Kennedy Burke. And I wanted to speak about Kennedy Burke briefly, because seeing what Natasha Cloud just went through, right? And just Tasha's not the only player or the first player to speak about, the relationships with teams and GMs, and especially how ugly it could get sometimes, especially on the business side of things. There's little to no loyalty. And the players haven't always gotten the best out of their GMs and organizations, but Jonathan Kolb seems a lot different from that. This man is a family first, family oriented, and a player first organization, where it's kind of like, we just want the players to do what they do, and we'll take care of the rest. And the rest is the team, the staff, playing their roles to the best of their ability. They're doing an amazing job at that. And you can kind of see everything when these things come to fruition. You kind of see how the Liberty family is together as a unit. They're amazing. They're tough. And again, I bring up the Kennedy Burke because what he did was, after seeing especially the season that Kennedy Burke had with her French club, one of her best seasons in her career. he came and he gave her an opportunity to play for something more. You know, her team is doing things. They're in the playoffs. They're going to the championships. Like, she's an MVP. She's playing amazing basketball. But Jonathan Cobb comes Jonathan Kolb comes in and he comes knocking, and lets her know that you can trust us. You can trust this organization. We'll do everything in our power, to make sure that at the end of the day you are holding that trophy in your hand. And that's what it is. Like, she came in with a goal to win a championship. She was leaving everything behind and had to trust this man after her experiences in the past were not so trustworthy. And then boom, she wins a championship. One of her best teammates leaves, KT, and she's re-signed to kind of refill that role of who one of her best friends on the team were. Like, think about that. Jonathan Kolb did not have to re-sign Kennedy Burke or mention of a different role for what she'll be for this team. I think that's trustworthy, and I think we'll keep that in mind. In 2026 when free agency comes.
Let's go shot for shot.
Players will keep that in mind too. That this is a GM that they can trust, somebody who's going to ensure that they're in their best positions possible. And, like I said, I like that a lot. From Jonathan Kolb and this front office team, giving players the avenue to feel like they can trust. Okay? So, all right. Re-signs Kennedy Burke. We lost Kayla Thornton. We lost Courtney Vandersloot. Kayla Thornton in the expansion draft. Courtney in free agency. Cord Stewie, re-signed Kennedy Burke, and then signed Isabel Harrison and Rebecca Gardner. The Rebecca Gardner signing. I keep telling you guys about this Rebecca Gardner signing because this was last year. Actually, it is a year, exactly a year and 3 days since the Rebecca Gardner signing, which was an absolute gem. An absolute gem. Absolute gem, guys. Because we knew we were going to get to this point where we were going to lose a core piece of our team, and that core piece was Kayla Thornton. And lo and behold, here we have it. Rebecca Gardner quite possibly can be the replacement for KT. And again, I will argue it again to the death of me that Rebecca Gardner, her offensive game is a lot more polished than Kayla Thornton. She's a really good defender as well, too. So I just want to throw that out there. Signed for Isabel Harrison. Another big, a quality big, underrated passer, phenomenal post player, and plays defense. Quick and active hands, runs up and down that floor with
Let's go shot for shot.
activity. That's huge. That's huge. And then we cannot forget the training camp contracts, guys. Signing Jalen Sherrod to a training camp contract. Still have the rights to Hansu. Still have the rights to Ivana Dojkic. Still have the rights to MJ Marine Johannes. These are gems. These plays are gems, guys. These are gems of plays. And, I just want to put these on the radar so these are not forgotten. These are not forgotten. We are watching a master at work in terms of building a roster, a championship roster, and trying to keep it relevant after the years. This year is going to be interesting. This 2026 is going to be interesting because a lot of those contracts that were together, that were signed together, those contracts will be up. But, again, I'm extremely confident in this team. I'm confident knowing that the GM, Jonathan Kolb, is a trustworthy GM. And I know the players are going to understand that this GM is a trustworthy GM that definitely puts up a fight for players and everything that they want. So what are we even talking about here? These transactions kind of prove why the New York Liberty won this offseason. And I give them an A+ for this offseason. For standing pat and not getting overzealous and over crazy and making trades for Satu Sabali or anybody or any big names just because we thought it was a big name. I appreciate this front organization for keeping their poker face on and just remaining remaining diligent, remaining still, and just watch how things play out. Because guess what? The New York Liberty are the champions. These other teams need to do the most. They need to do the most, not the New York Liberty. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you win a chip, don't fix it. You can try to get better, but don't destroy the core and the essence of what got you here. Don't do it. This is huge, guys. Look, I'm gonna close this out. And I kind of want to close this out by, like, you know, speaking to New York fans about Natasha Cloud's game. And if you're not aware, if you haven't seen Natasha Cloud play ball, sorry for you, first of all. But second, like, she embodies New York City. This is the perfect place. All right, she's from Pennsylvania, but she embodies New York City. Natasha Cloud's game is pure NYC energy. Like, it's gritty, relentless, passionate. Like she's full of passion. She embodies the hustle and bustle of this city. Absolutely embodies the hustle and bustle. Her aggressive skills, the hustle, the defense, fearless drive. She's a point guard. She's a leader. And I'm sorry, I lied. She's not just a point guard, but she's a tone setter. All right, she's a tone setter. Somebody that could set the tone. As I told y'all previously, she's led this league in assists before in 2022, but she sets the tone. It's not somebody who's looking to just put up a shot first and score immediately as soon as they get the basketball. We're talking about somebody that sets the tone. We're talking about somebody that knows, like, yo, I got a chip on my shoulder. I know I have to fight for this every single day, and is going to continue to fight for this every single day. I've seen New York fans go crazy for like plays that average 4 points. It don't matter what you average. It don't matter how many points you are putting up on that board. What we care about as New Yorkers is effort. It's effort. And we know we're going to get that effort from Natasha Cloud. Absolutely are going to get that effort from Natasha Cloud. Liberty fans crave that. We crave somebody who's tough, somebody who can play defense, somebody who's not scared. And that is exactly what you're getting from Natasha Cloud. New Yorkers love players who leave it all on the floor. And that's exactly what Natasha Cloud brings. Like, she's gonna leave it all on the floor. She's gonna leave it all on the floor. And now with Cloud in the mix, the Liberty, they don't just get another floor general, but a competitor who thrives in chaotic places. New York is chaos. All right, New York is a chaotic place. Through media, fans, the hoops, the sports, the subways, New York is chaotic. Natasha Cloud will thrive in this. She will thrive in this chaos. That is New York City. So I just wanted to put that out there, that we just acquired another player who literally, she might not be from out here, but she literally embodies what it means to be a New Yorker. Natasha Cloud, we are so excited to welcome you to the New York Liberty, and we cannot wait to see you in Seafoam, y'all. The regular season will tip off on Saturday, May 17th. It will be the ring ceremony at home against the Las Vegas Aces, where the New York Liberty will look to defend their first ever WNBA championship. This is huge. This is exciting. Shout out to everybody who took the time to tune in to this episode and tap in with me. Again, unless you live under a rock, you know that Natasha Cloud is now a New York Liberty. And we got to speak about, let's speak about potential projected lineups. We can go Natasha Cloud at the guard, Sabrina Ionescu at the 2, Benai Delaney at the 3, Stewie at the 4, and JJ at the 5. We can go with our def lineup, where we have Sabrina at the 1, Benai at the 2, Leo at the 3, Stewie at the 4, and JJ at the 5.
Bucket for bucket, let's go shot for shot.
Natasha Cloud coming off the bench with Leo, which is having starters come off of your bench is crazy. Izzy, I apologize. Forgive me, guys. However you want to think about it, like these lineups can go crazy. Yeah, man, huge. So, stay tapped in with me. This is New York Liberty Fan TV for now. Again, like I said, if you want some more info on this, I did write a story on this trade. You could check it out at www.nylftv.com. We're definitely speaking about, this Natasha Cloud trade and everything that transpired. And, just stay tuned. We have a lot of stuff coming for you. The regular season starts in May. And we are super excited to get to this. And welcome Natasha Cloud to the New York Liberty. I hope you guys have an amazing day. And we will continue to keep dropping some heat and keep you guys in tune with everything New York Liberty. It is your boy Rem, a.k.a. Mr. Kenny Saintville. This is NYLFTV, presented by the Bucket for Bucket Podcast Network. Peace, Liberty fans. We got T Cloud. We on Cloud 9, y'all. We on Cloud 9.
Bucket for bucket, let's go shot for shot. Bucket.